Survival games just keep evolving, and the next wave is looking incredible. We're seeing some truly creative worlds coming from smaller studios and passionate developers who really get what makes this genre so special. Today we're checking out the most promising upcoming open-world survival games, everything from realistic survival sims to eerie horror twists and fresh co-op adventures. I'll break down what makes each one stand out, what stage of the development it's in, and when you can expect to get your hands on it. And make sure to stick around to the end. I've got a couple bonus announcements for two big names you'll definitely want to hear about. Alright, kicking things off, we got War Mechanic, and man, this one looks wild. So picture this, World War II never really ended. The fighting dragged on into the 1950s, but now the lines are blurred. Old allies turn enemies and everyone's just chasing power and profit. You play as Jack Wallace, a mercenary dropped onto this remote island called Nordhook, where your mission is to reopen an old abandoned military base. But here's the twist, the island's crawling with rogue robots, weird tech, and secrets from a war that just won't die. You'll be exploring, scavenging, crafting weapons and tools, even automating parts of your base while fighting your way through the chaos. It's all built with Unreal Engine 5 with full lumen lighting, so the world looks absolutely stunning. Especially those moody island vibes mixed with military ruins. War Mechanic is set to drop on December 31st, 2025 for PC only right now. No console plans just yet, but hopefully that changes because this one looks like a blast. Alright, next up we've got Hunger, and let's just say this one looks brutal in the best way possible. So this game drops you into the plague-ravaged Napoleonic Europe, where war might have ended, but something way worse has taken over. A mysterious infection twisting the land, the people, and basically everything you thought you knew about survival. It's a PvPvE extraction RPG, so think of it as like a crazy blend of Tarkov-style expeditions and deep RPG progression. You'll be scavenging through plague-ridden villages, monasteries, and ruins, fighting off horrific creatures and other players trying to take your loot. The combat looks super intense. Brutal melee mixed with black powder firearms, axes, maces, even experimental weapons from the 1800s. And unlike most extraction games, there are no wipes, so your story and your character actually progress over time. You could level up, take on quests, craft gear, and even pick professions to make items or trade in a player-driven marketplace. There's also a hub called the Chateau, where players can meet up, buy gear, grab quests, or just flex their loot. And the whole thing runs with proximity voice chat, so that every encounter, well, feels fresh. Hunger is heading into early access on Steam in 2026, with console releases planned later when the full game drops. Definitely one to watch if you like dark, gritty survival games with some real depth. Next up, we got Ferocious, and this one's been catching a lot of attention, especially after that playable demo hit Steam for a while, which I was fortunate enough to check out. You wake up stranded on this mysterious, uncharted island, and let's just say it's not exactly a vacation spot. The place is crawling with mercenaries, mechs, and dinosaurs. Yep, that's right, dinosaurs. What's really cool about Ferocious is how alive the world feels. It's not just a backdrop, the island itself is constantly reacting to you. One minute you're sneaking through the lush jungle ruins, the next you're dodging a T-Rex while a gunfight breaks out between factions. You can even use the wildlife to your advantage, turning predators loose on enemies or using them to clear paths through blocked areas. And combat is super intense. Fast-paced first-person shooter action where you can craft weapons and gear from what you scavenge to adapt on the fly. It's got that perfect mix of exploration, survival, and chaos that makes every encounter feel different. Right now, Ferocious doesn't have a confirmed release date, but it's expected to drop on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Definitely one to keep your eye on, because this one looks like it's shaping up to be something pretty special. Next is Paleolith. That's a hard one to say, Paleolith. And this one's about as raw and primal as survival games get. Set over 40,000 years ago in prehistoric Europe, there's no magic, no tech, no shortcuts, just you, nature, and the fight to make it through another freezing night. You'll be hunting, crafting primitive tools, building fires, and trying to stay alive through brutal winters that don't cut any slack. This is a true hardcore survival simulator. It's not just about keeping your hunger bar full. You've got to manage your body temperature, injuries, illnesses, fatigue, even insomnia. Every decision matters. Mess up a fire, break a bone, or get sick, and you're done. The crafting system is super detailed too. It's not just click to build. You actually have to craft carefully, because one bad move while shaping a spear or throwing together a shelter can cost you time, resources, and, well, maybe your life. What's cool is how realistic the wildlife behavior is. Animals actually respond to your noise and scent, so you'll need to use stealth, set traps, and plan your hunts like a real hunter would. And the changing seasons make survival even tougher. Rivers freeze, plants die off, animals migrate. It's a constant struggle to adapt. Right now, the game is in pre-alpha, but there is a Steam playtest that is starting now that you can request access to. The devs are aiming for PC only at the moment, no word on consoles yet. So if you're looking for realistic, no hand-holding survival experiences, Paleolith might be one of the most authentic ones we've seen yet. Moving on, we've got Mazebound, and this one looks straight up terrifying. You start off stranded between an endless ocean and this massive, towering gate, and the only way forward is into the maze. Once you step inside, it's pure survival horror, and you'll be hunting, gathering, and crafting just to stay alive, either solo or with friends. But here's the catch, you're not the only one in there trying to survive, or to eat. What really sells this one for me is the atmosphere. The maze just isn't some set piece. It's alive, it shifts, it hides things, and it throws all kinds of messed up creatures at you. Some crawl, some stalk, and some, well, they pretend to be human. You'll be tearing branches for torches, breaking crates for scraps, building makeshift defenses. Everything you use, you've earned by surviving just one more minute in that maze. It's got that slow burn tension where even the quiet moments feel dangerous. Every shadow looks like it's watching you, and every sound makes you wonder if you should run or hold your ground. Mazebound is expected to release in Q2 of 2026 for PC, with console versions to follow later on. If you like your survival games with a heavy dose of fear and mystery, this one's definitely worth keeping on your radar. This next one looks absolutely wild, and it's called Join Us, and yeah, it's basically what it sounds like. In this one, you're not just trying to survive the apocalypse. You're trying to thrive in it by starting your very own doomsday cult. You'll recruit followers, build your compound, and create your own belief system, whether that's UFOs, cannibalism, or, I don't know, intermittent fasting? The choice is yours, but whatever you preach, you've got to live with the consequences. It's a full sandbox survival game with 1 to 4 player co-op, so you and your friends can team up to spread your holy word, manage your followers, and fend off everyone from angry locals to the military. You'll craft bases, build defenses, and assign your followers jobs based on their strengths, like farmers, medics, smooth talkers, whatever your cult needs to keep growing. But the best part, every person in this world is a potential recruit. Civilians, enemies, you can convert just about anyone if your propaganda game is strong enough. Just make sure to keep your followers happy, because if morale tanks, your flock can turn on you really fast. Combat's looking over the top too. Everything from shotguns and miniguns to, yes, a snake launcher. A gun that literally fires live snakes. And if you die, that's it. It's permadeath. Unless you come back as a ghost, which apparently is a thing in this game. Join Us is set to release sometime in 2026 for PC with no console news just yet. Honestly, it looks like the perfect mix of dark humor, chaos, and survival gameplay, and I'm here for it. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Another dinosaur game? Yeah, I know, we already had one on the list, but I just can't help it with this one. The Lost Wild looks way too good to skip. This is a first-person survival horror adventure that's all about tension, atmosphere, and cinematic holy crap, I'm being hunted moments. You're stranded on an overgrown island filled with abandoned research facilities and prehistoric life, but these dinosaurs aren't monsters. They behave like real wild animals, curious and territorial, and that makes every encounter unpredictable. The gameplay is built around evading and surviving, not just gunning everything down. You'll sneak, distract, and intimidate predators using fire or non-lethal weapons. It's very much a cat and mouse survival experience where fear and patience are your best tools. Exploration is a key here too. The deeper you go into the island's research zones, the more dangerous things get. There's also this mysterious voice guiding you over the radio, slowly unraveling what really happened on the island, which gives it that cool narrative mystery vibe on top of all the survival tension. The Lost Wild is shooting for an early access release in early 2026 on PC, with console versions coming later. If you love survival games that blend horror, mystery, and the raw power of nature, this one's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Alright, this next one doesn't have dinosaurs, but it is a little different. It's called The Cube, and Atomic Heart fans might be interested in this one. This game is set in the same universe as Atomic Heart, but it's taking things to a whole new level. Imagine a massive, levitating cube, constantly shifting and rotating, and inside it, an unknown equation that has the power to rewrite reality itself. Yeah, it's that kind of weird, and I'm here for it. The Cube is an MMORPG shooter, so this isn't a small-scale survival game. It's a big, evolving world filled with wild biomes, intense combat, and a deep story at the center of it all. You'll be exploring the ever-changing structure, facing off against brutal enemies and bosses, while piecing together the mystery of what the equation really is. What makes it really stand out is how the environment literally changes around you. The cube shifts, flips, and rearranges as you move through it, constantly creating new challenges and ways to fight. Add in persistent character progression, tons of weapons, skills, and tactical depth, and it sounds like this one is going to keep players hooked for a long time. There's no release date yet, but it's currently being developed for PC, PS5, and Xbox. If you like the surreal world building and combat of Atomic Heart, the cube might be your next obsession. Rolling through the snow next, we've got Frostrail, a brutal new survival FPS set in a frozen, corrupted world where death literally follows the tracks. In Frostrail, you're not just surviving the cold, you're operating and upgrading your own steam-powered train. You can play solo or co-op, scavenging, crafting, and fighting your way through blizzards, ruins, and the horrors that stalk the ice. The story's got this really dark, gothic vibe. Once a mighty empire, now twisted by a pact with the void. Roam the frozen waste aboard your armored train, purging the cursed and seeking salvation in a world that's all but dead. Your train isn't just transport, it's your base, your fortress, and your last defense. You'll need to keep it fueled, upgrade the Eden engine, and add new carriages and crafting stations as you explore. But the deeper you go, the worse things get. The frost drains your heat, the storms blind you, and something ancient watches from beneath the ice. Frostrail is expected to release sometime in 2026 on PC, with console versions likely coming after 1.0. If you like the tension of games like Metro Exodus or Frostpunk, but want it with a co-op survival and a train you can actually build and defend, then you might want to add this one to your wishlist. Alright, next up is Alcahest, an upcoming action-adventure RPG set in a dark, medieval world where every fight and every decision carries real weight. You play as the youngest son of a petty lord. Not a chosen hero, but someone clawing for recognition in a land torn apart by feudal strife. Combat is fast, brutal, and highly interactive. Drop trees on enemies, kick them off cliffs, or use the environment itself to change your advantage. And instead of relying on magic, Alcahest centers on alchemy, letting you mix volatile potions with unpredictable and sometimes deadly effects. The developers describe it as a realistic medieval adventure inspired by Kingdom Come Deliverance and Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, with semi-open world regions, meaningful choices, and a heavy focus on immersion over filler. The game is scheduled to release sometime in 2026 for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. Alright, as promised, before we wrap things up, I got a couple bonus bits for you guys. First up, ICARUS is coming to consoles. After many weekly updates and tons of community support on PC, the devs have confirmed it's landing on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S in Q1 of 2026. So if you've been waiting to drop in, your time's coming soon. And then second, and this is huge for The Witcher fans, The Witcher 4 is officially in full production. There's still no confirmed release date yet, but CD Projekt Red says it won't be arriving before 2027. So yeah, it's still a long way off, but it's great to know that we have another installment coming in, well, one of my favorite gaming franchises ever. And that's the lineup, guys. A ton of really unique survival games on the horizon, each bringing something new to the table. It's awesome to see these smaller studios taking big swings with new ideas instead of just recycling the same formula. So let me know down in the comments, which one are you most excited to try? Or which one do you think could be the next big hit in the survival gaming genre? And then also, let me know what I missed. Is there other survival games out there I didn't cover? Just keep in mind, I do have other top 10 survival game videos out there if you want to check those out too. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one, Survivor.